Hello everybody and happy October. It did suddenly just get really cold, well at least here in the UK, hasn't it? So I think we are safe to say that it is autumn. It does feel like autumn and it really is time to just cozy up, do all of your favorite things when you're indoors and just get creative. So I am sharing this beautiful October spread with you all. So you're going to do a bit of journaling, you're going to design a beautiful cover page. So I thought you would guys really enjoy this because it's got a bit of a drawing side to it, as well as some really good journaling prompt where you'll get to practice writing in a beautiful style and actually reflecting on things as well, which I think is really good. And recently I've been really enjoying picking a word for the month. So at the bottom here, I've also included this little prompt where you could just pick one word to focus on throughout the month. It's a fun thing to do because it does stay in your mind and it might motivate you throughout the month. It's like a little reminder. So anyway, I haven't picked mine yet, but I'm thinking of something like slow down or something along those lines. Because yeah, I think for me personally, that would be like a nice little thing to focus on as we shift into autumn. But anyway, I hope you enjoy it. Let me know how you get on. I would love to see some photos. So if you have a go, please share what you've created. Tag me on Instagram. You can find me at Creative Field Designs or on Facebook, or just message me or email me. So yeah, I would really enjoy seeing your work. Have fun everybody, and let's get started. So here we are, I'm all ready to go. Prepare your notebook as well, and I'll just walk you through the tools. So I'll be using this UniPin Fineliner pen. This one's a bit bigger than normal, so I love that it's got like a slightly thicker tip. I'll link this so you can find it as well. And I'll use this brush pen for calligraphy. I might use the orange colour as well. So these are brush sign pens by Pentel. I really love them. I'll link these as well in case you want to have a look, but also I'm sure that you can work with what you have already. And we'll need some colours. So I've got a bunch of these colourful Tombow Dual Brush Pens. So I'm planning to use these colours just for a bit of guidance. You can pick similar colours. It might change, but anyway, just try to pick some autumnal shades, some beautiful reds or greens or orange, like warm colours. Maybe some yellow or pink as well. Those can be really pretty. Okay, so we'll also need a ruler and a pencil. So just grab those as well, just for the sake of aligning things and making sure they're straight. We'll need that. Okay, so we are going to start with the left side and we're going to create a beautiful cover page that's going to say Hello October. And so we will focus on the middle to begin with, and we're going to draw a beautiful little banner that's going to look like a little scarf, and it's going to be really pretty. So we're going to go straight in with the fine liner and try to focus in the middle. So imagine that you're going to do like a little rectangle right in the middle, and we're going to start drawing two lines. So at the top, so this is going to be the top of the rectangle, we're just going to draw this slightly curved line, and we're going to do a parallel line at the bottom, so we get like a little rectangle shape pretty much, and we're going to connect them. So it is quite curved, so obviously not a proper rectangle, but it does want to be like fairly thin. So you're going to write the word October in there, so it wants to be big enough for that. And now we're just going to continue with the detail. So we're going to do a little line at the bottom and just like a straight line at the top. And we're going to do that on the other side as well, but this time at the top. So you can see on the right, we did this at the bottom, and then we're going to mirror pretty much the same thing, but on the left side. So just like two lines, and this will show like a beautiful fold. And to actually show that fold a little bit better, we can add in a little line here. So from the top corner, we're just going to connect into that vertical line that we drew, and we're going to do the same thing at the bottom. So we're just going to do like a little parallel line at the bottom there, just like a little detail. Now let's connect the sides. So I'm just joining the top and the bottom line up, and this is pretty much the shape we'll be working with. And to make it look a bit more like a scarf, we are just going to do some lots and lots of lines there on each side. Oh, my clip is getting in the way, but there we go. So just imagine that it's knitted, and you know how you get a bit of yarn like at the end. So just like a cozy scarf. And just for the fun of it, let's decorate it a little bit more. So we could add little kind of lines in there, and then we could draw a little pattern. So you can do like a zigzag line, or you can just add in some dots in there as well. It's really up to you. So try to do the same thing on both sides, I'd say. So I'm just doing some dots here, and I'm going to do like a zigzag line in there. So there. Not too difficult. It's a pretty simple design, but just looks really nice, I think. Quite effective. Definitely looks like a little scarf floating in the wind, and it's really pretty. Definitely represents the season, the cold times of the season. So now I'm just going in with my orange brush pen, and I'm going to letter the word October. Now, I'm doing it fairly big, so I'm just being careful here not to run out of room. So just maybe go in a little bit smaller just to be safe. Also, depending on how much room you have on yours. It's nice to stop from time to time and just kind of check in with your design and your composition, just to see how much room you've got left on each side. There we go, and a long cross line in the letter T. So try your best. It doesn't have to be calligraphy. It can just be like stylized lettering. It could be capital letters as well. Just try to make it look pretty. I'm quite happy with this. It does look like it's moving in a way. And that's, that's a good thing, I think. And here at the top, I thought we could just do a little hello in monoline lettering. And again, this can be just your normal handwriting, of course, as well. I'm just doing this like stylized writing, and it's really simplistic, but I think it looks really effective and just contrasts really well with the word underneath. I think it works. I do love how simplistic it looks, but also quite purposeful. And we are just going to continue. So this is something I actually saw out on a walk, like little branches of leaves that were in two colorways. So a bit of red and like lighter red. So yeah, like two different shades of red, and it looked really pretty. So I took a little picture, actually. I'm drawing from a little photo here. And I'm just doing these like leaves that are really natural. So notice how I've just done a longer line, and that's like the base line, and I'm starting to attach all of these little leaves. So extending a little line from the main stem, and then drawing like a little leaf shape around it. And the idea here is that you're trying to do them from different points of view, like from different perspectives. And I think it works really well. They're definitely a bit wobbly, a bit kind of like shaky looking. They don't have to be really uniform at all, and that's, I think, what makes them look really interesting. And that's why I took a photo, because sometimes it can be hard to imagine how they actually sit on a branch. So you could always take something away from like some photos you take when you're out on a walk. So that's something I do often. I do love it. Even if you're drawing something really simplistic like this, it can really help with your composition. So there we go, and we'll color these in later. So we're just going to dot these around, like spread them around the page. So I might do another one here. So think of these as little fillets. So they will definitely be the biggest of the elements that we draw. So you can do as many as you like, depending on how full you want your page to be. So take your time. You can do as many as you like, of course. So I'm kind of like doing the same thing, but trying to position them in different places and from different perspectives again. Making some of them bigger, some of them smaller. They do want to look really natural. So just carry on drawing these until you're happy with how many you have. So next we're going to draw a little oak leaf, which is actually going to be quite big, so not too little. So we're going to start with a little curved line, and we're going to start working from the bottom in a continuous line, trying to resemble like a lovely oak leaf shape. And when you get to the top, we can stop there. So you can refer to my example, or you can just imagine how an oak leaf looks, you know. So you can definitely, it's got these little parts to it. You always go back to the actual center, to the stem, and out again to the side. But this is kind of, you know, what the shape is. It doesn't have to be perfect. So try to do it with me. And I also love adding in a little like vein detail. You know how when you look at a leaf, you see lots and lots of little veins. So I think adding some of those in can also look really good. There we go. And I will do a little apple next. So let's do this together. And we will do a little kind of like a round circle, like round object. And we are going to attach a little stalk at the top and do a little leaf. And maybe a little bit of shadowing there, just like a little detail. That could look quite good. You can do more leaves. I feel like I might want to do another leaf. Just remember that we will be colouring all of this in, and all of the little details you do will just add more depth to your composition. So you can definitely do like some extra lines here and there. I also love adding like little dots around some of the elements, you know, that can look really good. Okay, so I'm going to do another one of these oak leaves, and let's see if I can make this one a bit more balanced. So just going a bit slower. As I reach the top, I'm going to do this sort of a shape with a pointed tip and stop there maybe, and maybe actually go back to the bottom. I think this just makes it a bit easier to draw. So you get to the top and then you start with the other side, but maybe start from the bottom again and then like connect the top. That might work a bit better. And just still doing these little veins and filling it in a little bit with detail. Lovely. That looks good to me. Doesn't have to be perfect, of course. Let's do another apple. So see how we're just using the same elements, but we are just dotting them around. And it's nice to leave some white gaps in between. Like negative space is really important when it comes to composition. And when I draw, I'm really aware of having some space in the background. We don't really want to overfill the page. So see how many times you want to repeat these, and we might actually do some berries as well. Can't do autumn drawings without any berries. So berries just always look really, really effective. So let's give it a go. So really simple. Let's just start with a line and then extend some more lines out of the main stalk. And depending on how many berries you want to do, you can do as many lines as you like. So I've done these and I'm just adding on like a big circle. I love having these quite big. And then on the inside of each circle, I'm doing a smaller circle, like towards the top. I might just add in like a cheeky one in there. There we go. So I think that looks really cute. And again, once we colour this in, it'll just pop a little bit more. You're going to fill your space a little bit more. I am thinking of adding some pumpkins a bit later. But I think let's just start colouring whatever it is that we have already. And then we can always top up and just add in some more elements. So I've done another little berry branch here. And we can start colouring. So I'll use these two pens. So they're both red and one's a bit darker. And I'm just starting to colour in this little branch. And notice how I'm just swapping in between. I'm doing each leaf in a different colour. So the first one, the top one was quite dark. And this one on the side is like bright red. And this technique is just really fun. So once you finish your little branch, it'll look really interesting because it'll have like different shades of red. And it's really pretty. You'll see that. So just take your time. And this is how we colour. We're trying to stay within the lines, you know, we're being fairly careful. But also you don't have to be though, because it can be a bit hard with brush pens. But I am definitely trying to be quite tidy in terms of colouring. And I do find it really relaxing as well. So just enjoy the process. I might speed this up, but you can just pick any colours you like. So for the berries, I'm just going to do brown, like brown branch and red berries. For an apple, I'm just going to do red again with some green leaves and a brown little stem. So that'll look really good. And for the leaves, for these individual oak leaves, I might do brown, maybe yellow. And I will speed this up, so just to give you some time to relax, and you don't really have to follow anything on here for now. So just take your time, you can pause the video, I'll speed this up and I'll catch you once we finish colouring everything. I couldn't resist. I had to add in some pumpkins. If you want to do the same, we can draw some of them together. So to draw a pumpkin, it's quite easy actually. So what we're going to do, I'm going to demonstrate the next one I do properly. So we are just going to start from the middle. So we're drawing some lines like this. We're connecting them at the top and at the bottom. And we're just kind of expanding. So doing one line on each side until we get this lovely pumpkin shape, and then we're doing a little stem, little stalk, and then I love doing this like a swirly line coming out of the base. It just looks fun. That's the way I draw mine normally, and I think it looks cute. And again, we're just going to color these in orange or yellow. It's really up to you. Lovely, so there we go. So that's the left page done, and you can see that I've also added some gold dots here and there. So if you've got like a nice gold pen, you can also do that. I think it looks really good. Okay, so for the right page, we are going to write some prompts, journaling prompts that you can then reflect on a bit later if you like. So we're just making it look pretty today, but you can also come back and like fill it in properly, of course. And I'm just doing some lines. So let's leave the middle of the page blank, because you can do a month, the month at a glance. That'll be really good. So I've done some lines at the top, and I've done 4 lines at the top and some lines at the bottom. I'm going to do 4 lines at the bottom as well. So just trying to kind of organise the page. So we have the month at a glance in the middle, and then we can write some prompts at the top, then leave a line to write a response to a prompt, and see how many we can actually fit in. So that's what I've done for now. So 4 lines at the top and 3 lines at the bottom. There we go. Okay, so I am going to write month at a glance with my fineliner. So I'm just using like a really simplified monoline lettering. It's quite stylized in a way, you know, I'm stretching my letters a little bit. You can try doing it with me or just use your normal handwriting. So it's a bit similar to the hello that we did on the other page. And if you've been doing these tutorials with me, you will know what we do next. So I am normally just drawing a little calendar. So we're going to do a straight line, like a vertical line. Then we're going to do a horizontal line. Just make sure these are straight. Kind of crossing over like this. I'm using a pencil for this because I can never do them in a straight way. So I'm just checking before I do it with a pen. This looks good to me. Lovely, so let's just fill this in now. So we're going to do all the days of the week. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It might be a bit tight, so see if you can position these letters in a nice kind of spread out way. And I don't have a lot of room at all, so I will actually go really, really small with my numbers. I had to stop the video to check when when does the month actually start and when does it end. But anyway, so I've done it. So you see how I just numbered. I just put in all the numbers, and I try to keep them small because there isn't much room, and at least you get to see your month, and I think that's helpful. So again, you can, whilst you're doing it, you can see if you've got any important dates coming up, if there's anything you're looking forward to. It's my dog's birthday in a couple of weeks, so that's a special day in my month. But yeah, just kind of note what it is that you are looking forward to. And whilst we're here, because we do have these like gaps on each side, I thought we can do this lovely little design where we just draw a line and then we do lots and lots of other lines like branches expanding. And we're just going to use a really simplistic technique to do lots and lots of colourful leaves. So you can use like a stamping technique when you use a brush pen. So I've sped this up here just so you can see what it looks like. So I am just stamping the side of my brush in different colours, just all around these little branches, and it looks really effective. So I'm using red, green and yellow. You can also use orange or like different shades of green. I think all those colours will look really, really good. So don't worry if they overlap. So that's the whole point. It's definitely a bit messy, but the results are really striking, really pretty. I've also blended in a bit of brown. I think brown also looks really good as a contrast to these like colourful colours. So I quite like it, quite pretty. And then you can use your fine liner if you want to just go around and just show a bit of a detail for each leaf. You don't have to do it on all of them, but I'm definitely doing that to some of them. I feel like it just definitely adds a bit more detail. But there we go. That's like a nice little thing you could add to your spread. And now we're just going to write some lovely prompts, and I've done the first one so you can refer to the style, but I'm also doing these little bullet points, almost as if bullet points, and I'm just going to do little berry branches here, and I think they'll look quite good. So the first little prompt that I wrote in brush calligraphy using my black pen is lessons carrying forward. So if there's anything you learned last month, and I'm sure you have, if there's anything you kind of want to reflect on a little bit more, you can just fill in this line underneath with some examples, and I think that's quite a nice thing to do, just reflect on it. So I'm going to leave a gap there before I do the next one. So I'm just filling in these berries. So we have these lovely kind of bullet points there. So take your time doing it. And I'm just thinking about the next prompt as I do it. And let's write together, what am I proud of? So again, such a powerful little question that we probably don't really, think about these things a lot day to day. But again, it's just really nice to reflect. So I'm writing this in brush calligraphy, so I've done the word what, and I'm definitely using a bouncy calligraphy style where I'm bouncing the letters below the baseline, so you can refer to this as a little example, or you can also do it in your style, of course, as well. And the last prompt we're going to do is super good one. So we're going to write things to let go of. And I'm using bouncy calligraphy style again. So trying to slow down. I'm aware I'm going a bit quickly here. So honestly, take your time. It's not an easy thing to do, brush calligraphy, and I definitely don't want this to come across as it's a quick thing. So you definitely want to slow down. I have been doing this for decades, so it might feel a bit unnatural to you as you do it, but just try your best, enjoy the process, and remember, it always looks better than you think. If you also have a bit of room at the bottom, I think if you did the lines in the same way I did them, I might have done my calendar to
too big, but I definitely had a bit of room there at the bottom. So if you have that too, so we can just write the word of the month. So whatever it is that you want to focus on, just pick one word, and again, there'll be something to fill in. But there we go. This is the end result. I really like this one. What do you guys think? I hope you enjoyed it. So leave a comment, just let me know how you're getting on. And I really hope that you found this quite relaxing and just quite cozy and relaxing to do. Well done, everybody. I'll see you next time.